From Ratchet & Clank to several recent Spider-Man entries, you'd be hard-pressed to find a PlayStation studio more prolific in the PS5 era than Insomniac, and that portfolio grows this week with Spider-Man 2. But it's been a few years since we've last seen our Spider-Mans, our Spidersmen. It's been a while since we've seen Peter and Miles. So here's a quick rundown of everything we know about Spider-Man 2 before it launches on October 20th. Keep in mind that we'll be going over events that happened in previous Spider-Man games, so full spoilers for Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales. While Peter and Miles will still be based in Manhattan for this new Spider-Man adventure, new boroughs have been added to the world map, namely Brooklyn and Queens. Queens is far more residential than the skyscraper-filled Manhattan, and Brooklyn is where Miles goes to school. The addition of these new areas roughly doubles the map size, and the map was already pretty big, so make sure to stretch your swinging arm. Although swinging isn't the only way we'll be getting around this time. With several of the boroughs changing the vertical landscape of your traversal area, Peter and Miles now have a new tool in their arsenals, the web wings. In our hands-on preview, we found the web wings to be far more of a glider than actual wings, so you'll still need to use your web zip to maintain speed or find a wind tunnel that will greatly accelerate your current Spider-Man. Another new traversal option is the slingshot, set points throughout the city that let you catapult yourself to great distance to give your traversal a head start. And on top of all this, dating all the way back to the first reveal trailer for Spider-Man 2, we've already seen Peter and Miles performing dual takedowns of enemies, so we know they'll be able to fight together in some capacity, even if it's just added visual flair and doesn't affect the combat too much. What will affect the combat is Peter's new symbiote powers. In the gameplay reveal trailer, we see him throw out a giant punch using his symbiote, a new method of launching multiple enemies into the air and what looks to be a parry rather than just dodging. He also grabs several enemies at once and slams them on the ground, instantly defeating them all. Fun stuff. You'll also be able to instantly switch to Miles, something that now doesn't require a loading screen thanks to new tech powering Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is the first Spider-Man game to be made ground up for the PS5, as all the previous entries had PS4 versions. With the limitations of previous hardware removed, what kind of technical upgrades can we expect? For one, ray tracing across all graphics modes. Insomniac has been at the forefront of RT implementation across their various Spider-Man games, as the PS5 versions have been consistently updated with new graphical improvements. But while the previous games offered a high frame rate mode with ray tracing off, Insomniac's Mike Fitzgerald in an interview with IGN said, "We had fidelity mode, which had the full 4K and ray trace reflections, and then we had the performance mode, which turned the ray tracing off, and then we added the performance RT mode, which was trying to be the best of both. There's no mode in this game that has ray tracing turned off. There's no need for it. We've really figured out how to deliver what we feel is the right Spider-Man visuals." Aside from graphical improvements, the PS5's SSD, or solid-state drive, allows for gameplay changes as well. With the web wings, you can now move about 3 times faster throughout the city, and can switch between Peter and Miles almost seamlessly. There's also near-instant fast travel, with the only waiting consisting of watching Peter or Miles do a cool animation for you to get back into the action. As befitting of the title, the most important characters are our 2 central Spider-Mens. Peter is still mourning the loss of Aunt May at the end of the first Spider-Man game, and Miles is mourning the loss of his father at the hands of Martin Lee, aka Mr. Negative. An old adage for Spider-Man across the different authors of the character is that when Spider-Man wins, Peter Parker loses, and that appears to still be the case here for both of our heroes. Miles is struggling with balance, as in our preview he's trying to write his college entrance essay while New York constantly needs saving. Peter is sporting the powerful symbiote suit that enhances his strength, but also increases his aggression, which he possibly gets from his best friend, Harry Osborne. Harry has been unconscious and undergoing treatment for a genetic disease that killed his mother, and that treatment seems to be using the alien symbiote more commonly known as Venom, who we've also seen in the marketing materials. Harry seems to be awake now and is eager to heal the world. Could this new Venom have Harry as the host this time around? Brian Intihar, senior creative director at Insomniac, specifically said during Summer Game Fest that Venom is not Eddie Brock like in the comics. So it just really seems to be pointing towards Harry. Or is that a red herring? It could be the worst case scenario, and Kraven the Hunter, one of the marquee villains for Spider-Man 2, gains this terrifying new power. Kraven is already a more than even match for Spider-Man in the comics, giving his supernatural strength and senses, and he would be a truly formidable opponent if he dons the symbiote. I guess we'll have to see when the game launches, but for now, we know he's grown bored of hunting his current opponents and has decided to come to New York to hunt a new kind of game. The screen he's presented within the gameplay reveal trailer shows Black Cat, Prowler, Wraith, Tombstone, and our Spider-Man, so we know he's intrigued by one, or maybe all of them. We're guessing all of them. In any case, we know he'll be a major obstacle for Peter and Miles to overcome, no matter what form he takes. We also know that the Lizard, or as he probably prefers to be called, Dr. Kirk Connors, at some point loses control and transforms back into the giant monster we know and love, and Kraven really wants to hunt him.
I think that guy wants to hunt me.
Naturally, both Spider-Mans needs to step in and stop him. We're also pretty sure that this is Mysterio, if the purple and green swag are any indication, so we can probably expect some strange illusionary gameplay segments not unlike Scorpion's segments in the first game. There's no PS4 version this time around, but Spider-Man 2 does have several different options or bundles that you can purchase. There's the standard edition for $70 or the digital deluxe edition for $10 more, which includes 10 more suits overall, additional photo mode items, 2 extra skill points, and more. If you like your extras to come in the physical variety, there's also the collector's edition, which includes a steelbook case, a digital copy of the game, 19 inches of Venom, and the previously mentioned digital deluxe content. The collector's edition costs $230. If that's still not enough Spider-Mans for you, there's also the limited edition bundle, if it's still available, that includes a PS5 with a Blu-ray drive and custom Spider-Man 2 faceplates, a custom Spider-Man DualSense controller, and a digital copy of Spider-Man 2, all for $600. Well, that's all we have for everything we know about Spider-Man 2 before its big release on October 20th. There are plenty more roads we can go down, including Lizard's involvement in all this, who exactly Wraith is, and all sorts of fun rabbit trails and rumors, but we'll only be able to know exactly where that stuff leads for sure when playing the game on October 20th. What are you most excited for in Spider-Man 2? Make sure to let us know in the comments below, and for everything else gaming, you're already in the right place, IGN.